NBC 10 News starts now.
He is throwing it deep for the end zone, and it is batted around and incomplete. And the game is over. The game is over. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
And celebrate we will. First, the late night revelry. Now we look toward the victory parade. For the first time ever, the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
And it did not take long for those celebrations to begin. A few people did climb light poles, but most stayed close to the ground, celebrated appropriately as a mass of humanity swarmed onto Broad Street to celebrate as one big community. And how awesome is it to just keep looking at that picture?
Every man,
yes,
woman, child flooding Broad Street. Good afternoon, and thanks for being with us. I'm Rosemary Connors.
And I'm Ted Greenberg. To be the best, you have to beat the best. And that's exactly what the Eagles did, dethroning the defending champion, New England Patriots.
A Cinderella story, David and Goliath story, and yeah, we came out victorious. Eagles getting ready to head home as we speak at this moment. The team is scheduled to board a chartered plane for Philadelphia right about now, new time. That's what we're going to be watching. Their flight is due to touchdown at Atlantic Aviation right by Philly International between 2 and 2:30 this afternoon. Before the Birds left for the airport in Minneapolis this morning, we did hear from quarterback MVP Nick Foles. We also heard from Eagles head coach Doug Pedersen. Nick Foles talked about how he had to fail. You can't be afraid to fail, and that was part of the story. And then we also heard from Coach Pedersen.
Exactly, and he just gave credit to the whole team. That's something that we heard so much since this huge victory, and even before it, after winning the NFC Championship, about how this was teamwork and how this team pulled together and worked together to get this done. Take a look. Take a listen.
It's kind of surreal right now. These next few days are going to be a little crazy. We got a lot to do still, but just excited for the guys, and we'll remember this the rest of our lives.
It's just a great honor to be up here to accept this, but on behalf of the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, I'm fortunate to be a part of a great team, great players, great coaching staff, and I think, you know, just the play the last several weeks was just a team thing. We just kept working, kept game planning. You know, I kept talking to Doug about what I liked, and he, you know, him and all the coaching staff kept building it around what we were doing, and then it's a reflection on, you know, the execution on the field.
Tight end ZachErtz there going in for that touchdown. Of course, we've also been covering and watching the post-game revelry. Despite the best efforts of the Philadelphia police to keep people off the light poles, we know they initially in previous games tried to grease the poles with Crisco. They had a mysterious substance this time around. Yeah, we caught at least one fan climbing this pole. This is right at South Broad and Walnut Streets. By and large, most fans, Ted, behaved themselves. Everybody was on good behavior. As you can see, the crowds flocking towards City Hall.
Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney released a statement a short time ago. He said tens of thousands came out and celebrated this amazing victory, but for a handful of bad actors, the celebration was peaceful and jubilant. We're thankful for our police, for their assistance in getting the crowds dispersed and people home safely.
There is some damage to show you. This is from the few who got out of hand. They toppled this traffic light at the intersection of 17th and Chestnut Streets. Rowdy groups also smashed windows. They turned over planters in the area. We're going to keep watching that. And our team coverage continues now with that dash for championship merchandise and then those plans for the victory parade.
And that dash began last night and through the overnight, and NBC 10's Pamela Osborne is in Northeast Philadelphia for us, and she caught up with people who were waiting in line. What was that, 4 in the morning?
Real quickly, I've been texting my husband who's off today. I'm like, get me some Eagles gear. It's gone. It's practically gone. But Pam's got the inside look at a spot where you can get some custom Eagles attire. Take a look.
Take a look.
We've spent our morning in the Northeast catching up with fans who are doing nothing else other than trying to buy merchandise, that special championship gear. But we wanted to bring you here to PhiLII because take a look. You can actually get your own custom gear. These t-shirts they're working on right now, just say one word, victory, but that's all there really is to say. So tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now, this custom order.
We're working on a couple of victory shirts here for celebrating the big win yesterday. I couldn't get any sleep, so it's great to print these this morning.
And how does it feel just knowing that people are going to be wearing this? They're feeling so proud. You have to take some pride in making
Of course, I take a bunch of pride in this. These are going to be on the backs of people. Hopefully, we get to see them out in the parade. It's going to be an awesome time.
Are you going to the parade?
I hope so. I'll be there. I'm definitely going to be there.
All right, thank you so much. So yeah, if you have been to the stores today, you haven't quite found what you're looking for, just know that you can come on down to PhiLII. You can get a t-shirt from anywhere from $5 to $10 depending on how much you order. Maybe you have an idea of what you might like. Maybe you're still working it out. They have someone here that can help you out with that. So a good place to look if you're looking to show your Eagles pride. In the Northeast, I'm Pamela Osborne, NBC 10 News.
Reality is certainly setting in that we won, and now we get the victory parade. To the spoils go the victors.
We did, and one more thing that Foles said earlier was that he's running on fumes, and there's a lot of adrenaline, and that's keeping him going. And I think between the two of us, we have like an hour of sleep, but we're still here, and we're still going because of that adrenaline.
Yes.
And so is NBC 10's Katie Zachary at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. The big question: when will that parade take place? Katie.
I've been in touch with the mayor's office several times this morning, but they are not divulging what day the parade will happen. What we do know is that it will begin in South Philadelphia and it will end here at the Art Museum in front of the famed Rocky statue. What's happening at the Art Museum right now? Take a look. There are dozens of crew members here who are putting up a stage. It really appears parade preparations are underway, yet the city won't confirm that, but I'm hearing from one of the crew members that they were told if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, to report here to the Art Museum steps to begin all of the preparations and all of the work for the parade that will happen later this week. There's even a tent that in the last hour or so has gone up just across Aikens Oval. There's crowd control, there's traffic control, trucks are coming in with some big pieces of equipment, a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation about this parade. We are just waiting to find out when. Reporting from Aikens Oval, Katie Zachary, NBC 10 News.
And as soon as we get that information, of course, you will get it as well. We have some ideas, we should say, but of course, we're waiting for that official word from the mayor's office. Hey, we want to see how you're celebrating this historic win in Philadelphia sports history. Use the hashtag #WeWonIt when you post your photos and videos. And of course, turn to the NBC 10 app for continuing coverage.
And we're going to have continuing coverage of the Birds' big return to Philadelphia. We are expecting them to be arriving at Philadelphia International Airport around 2:30 this afternoon. NBC 10 is your official station of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are going to be bringing you live coverage of that big homecoming, and you know people are going to be out there.
That's right, so be sure to tune in to NBC 10 News this afternoon. I'm Rosemary Connors.
I'm Ted Greenberg. Thank you so much for being with us, and have a great afternoon.
And go Birds.
Fighting power! In the parade, which is entirely motorized. We will begin the parade 11 a.m. at Broad and Pedersen. We'll head north. We're going to head northbound down the center, except of course for the median strip. We'll be going nice and slow to give people the opportunity to see everyone. And it will be open air, so people will see. They're not enclosed vehicles that, you know, everybody significant will be on. As we pass by South Philly, come into Center City, just so you know, there are 3 press platforms that will be set up. One on the south portal of City Hall. So as it's coming north, goes past Chestnut Street, comes up to City Hall. The parade will turn left and go west around South Penn Square. Yes, it's the wrong way, but we understand traffic will be detoured. All the lights will be green for some reason. As we turn onto Penn Square, we're going to loop around at 15th Street. We'll go north on 15th Street. And just so you know, The entire route will be barricaded, of course, so all of our fans, the spectators, will be on the sidewalks, hanging out windows of office buildings, we suspect, and we'll continue along. There's a couple of surprises along the way, along the parade route that will happen, and it'll be very visual, the entire step along the way. So, as we pass by City Hall, which will be on the right-hand side, we're going to come up to JFK Boulevard. We're going to make a left. Okay, so we're going to go west on JFK, and right at the corner there of JFK Plaza, aka Love Park, will be a second press platform. The parade will pass by there. That press platform will offer a great shot of City Hall and William Penn in the background. As we make a right and go north on 16th Street, we come up to the Parkway. We turn left on the Parkway. We stay on the westbound lanes, the left lane, so we're going all essentially down the center of the Parkway. Barricades will be along both sides of this motorcade. However, we're going to offer maximum number of viewing opportunities for everyone. The barricades will be up well in advance. They'll be up early that morning. So as people start coming, and we'll get to how they're going to get there in a second, as they start arriving, they'll gather. Everyone will have a great close-up view of not just the parade, but of what happens later. So just very simply, the parade, the motorcade passes way up, goes around Logan Circle the proper way, goes up the Parkway, goes around Eakins Oval, and ends right at Kelly Drive at the Art Museum. Our guests will get out. There are many people who will be in the parade, some of whom will be seated because the stage itself, and many of you may have noticed, the stage is going up, and it's sitting there right now. The stage is on the second level of the Art Museum. Okay? There'll be some seating down below, and then the vast majority will be our public invited. All of these, I would say 90% of the availability is really pretty close up and then stretching back. So we've heard numbers and reports of how many people are coming. We know we can fit 3 million people on the Parkway. So a lot of people are going to arrive early to get the best vantage point. They don't necessarily have to worry. We right now have 14 jumbotrons that will stretch from Eakins Oval down to City Hall. Okay? And then there is a sound system that's currently being set up, will be tested over the next 2 days to make sure that everyone not only sees what's going on, but hears it. Our broadcast partner is NBC 10 and NBC Sports. They will broadcast from 10:30 a.m. to the close of the ceremony. All of the local broadcast TV stations are pooling their camera feeds, so we will have vantage points of at least 12 different locations along the parade route in addition to on the Parkway. Okay? We finish up there approximately 12 p.m. with the parade, and then we prepare for the ceremony. The ceremony will begin at 1 p.m. Okay? And where will it be? On the steps of the Art Museum. Details for that parade, for that ceremony, will come at 1 p.m. on Thursday. Okay? It will be dramatic. It will be wonderful. It'll be fantastic. And for many of you, you should know that everyone has been preparing for this for about 4 decades. So the final details, you know, and yeah, going into 5 decades probably. But the final details have been worked on over the last few days, and it'll be dramatic. So the most important thing is right now is how people are going to get to the entire parade route and how they're getting to the Parkway for this ceremony. And I'd like to turn it over to the board chair of SEPTA, who happens to be here, He took the Broad Street subway to get here, and that's Pat Dion. So, Pat.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to congratulate the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Every game, every time, the SEPTA bleeds green. The subways, the stations, the trains. We are the mode of transportation preferred. Saying that, coming up, there's going to be a really wild, best way to put it, celebration in Philadelphia. Our goal is to transport as many fans to the parade as safely as possible. Immediately following this press conference, our General Manager Jeff Knuppel over at our headquarters are going to be going through all the various details of the day and how we're going to handle the transportation needs for the region. We're going to be maximizing all of our routes and our personnel that day. I think, like we said, we're going to do everything we can to get everybody in and out of town as safely as possible. To that effect, the Broad Street and Market Frankfurt lines will be the best option for fans coming in for the parade. And I'm pleased to announce that Independence Blue Cross is generously sponsoring free rides all day on the Market Frankfurt and Broad Street lines. Thank you, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I think Donna Farrell is here today. Donna, thank you. Thank to Mr. Hilferty. Again, I'd like to thank Blue Cross for helping us. I think the day is going to be a magnificent day for the city of Philadelphia. Again, I'd like to thank the Eagles for winning. It was a great day for us, great day for the city. I'd like to bring up the Police Commissioner Ross to give you the details on that side. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Commissioner. So I'm standing here with one of my esteemed colleagues who needs no introduction, Fire Commissioner, and Chief Inspector Mel Singleton, who will play an instrumental role in a lot of the planning. Obviously, like everyone, we celebrate the Eagles. My classmate, Don Smolensky from Leadership Philadelphia, who I've known for a number of years. So clearly, we will have a very strong police presence as well as emergency medical services. Fire Commissioner will be out there alongside us, assisting us. As was already stated, a lot of barricades. You'll see police officers, much like most parades that we have, they'll be on the inner perimeter of those barricades, which will assist us to help with crowd control. Obviously, there'll be a lot of happy people out there. But we'll have some extensive manpower out there in a lot of different forms. Homeland Security will be on for outreach to different businesses, particularly those with liquor licenses, to assist us during that day. Just sometimes simple things like the use of plastic cups, even little things that people don't think about. Just in other outreach along the parade route will help us immensely. We'll have officers in preventive patrol assignments, both in uniform and out, so that we'll be able to detect anything that seems like it's out of order. We'll have people all over, on foot, in vehicles, in the air. They'll be on bikes, they'll be on horseback. They'll just be all throughout the general parade route. In addition to which, PPD and the city is working very closely, obviously, with SEPTA, Amtrak, and all mass transit in the area to serve the citizens and ensure their safe passage to and from the parade. I already mentioned Homeland Security. Aviation traffic will be there contributing to this specific area of expertise. PPD will be working in close cooperation with the fire department, state and federal partners, and that's something we do in all of these large-scale events, and we do it pretty well. Finally, we're obviously working with OEM, and you'll hear from Dan in a minute, but we also ask some little things. Obviously, and it happens every time, and sometimes it's innocent enough, but keep a close watch on your children. I mean, when you're talking about large-scale events like this, it can be a little difficult. We have plans for locating them and getting them back to you safely, but to the degree that you can just keep your hands on them, that helps us immensely. Also, please leave no bags unattended. We spend a lot of resources when we find unattended bags because of the world that we live in today. And so to the degree that you have a bag with you, please do not put it down and walk away. Someone will do what we invariably ask, which is call. See something, say something. And people have done a wonderful job of doing that. But if we can avoid that, that'll be helpful. Obviously, you may have some questions later, but for now, I'm just going to turn it over to Dan, and you can just follow up.
Thank you, Commissioner. We are beyond excited to host this celebration event. I'd like to walk through a couple things. First and foremost, to make sure that you have the most up-to-date info, the city is using a custom keyword to enroll for free text alerts about the parade. To sign up for free, you text Ready Eagles, one word. You're going to have to fight the autocorrect on your phone. It's going to be a word after today. And you text that to 888-777. And that's going to allow us, everyone attending the event, to share information about mass transit, parade details, weather, detours, and anything else that could happen. That's our way of reaching you on game day. The city has worked very closely with our telecommunication partners. You will have now seen telecommunication boosting equipment throughout the city. That is to increase our cell phone service, because we know for an event of this size, everyone's going to want to live stream and take photos. So it's the work we've done in the background to increase the cellular bandwidth. But even with that, it's important for those that are attending, as the Commissioner said, to have a plan. If you get separated from your group or your family about where you're going to meet, there are location signs along the parkway, but also just choose a landmark. I encourage everyone attending the parade to dress warmly and in layers with comfortable shoes, and anticipate walking long distances, as well as anticipating some delays with mass transit leaving the area. We're going to hear much more at 10:30 from SEPTA's press conference, but do expect, given the volume of people, some delay on regional transit getting out. I'd like to also echo the Commissioner's statement about calling 911 for suspicious activity. You are all the public and public safety. If something looks out of place, please call 911. And with that, I look forward to seeing all of you at our celebration on Thursday. Thank you.
So, folks, we have time for about 10 minutes worth of questions. I ask that your questions be about information that the public would need to know. If you have questions about media logistics or credentialing, please save that for afterwards. In addition, folks will be around afterwards. We run out of time, and as you heard, SEPTA will be having its own press conference at 10:30 to get into the nitty-gritty of their plan for Thursday.
Will there be any magnetometers or anything that people have to go through for security, such as like when the Pope is here?
And you can come up to the microphone.
No.
Mayor, we're kind of taking a beating in the national press about some of the images that were transmitted from Sunday night. I was in Mayfair. It was peaceful. Yeah. What's your message going forward to Thursday, based on some of the opinion that is out there and some of the damage in Center City?
The small number of knuckleheads should stay home. Every city that's gone through this has had this celebration. There's always some element of people who do this. There were literally tens of thousands of people on the street, and the knucklehead contingent was extremely small, and media focus is obviously on the negative, because it doesn't. No one's interested in the positive. I know our police department is working hard to identify those particular individuals and to also make arrests with them. I believe somebody may be even turning themselves in as a result of the car being turned over. I think on the scale of things, certainly it's unfortunate and it's regrettable. I don't think it rose to the level of any real serious concern. And I think what happens is with Eagles fans sometimes the media wants to perpetuate the myth of, I've been to literally hundreds of Eagles games. I've seen some stuff at the vet, but I mean, it's nowhere. I mean, and when Eagles fans travel to other places, I mean, Giants Stadium isn't an easy place to be in. There's other places, you know, the Madison Square Garden is not an easy place to watch a Flyers game. So, I mean, it's regrettable. I wish it wouldn't happen. I wish people would think. But our officers can deal with it, and we'll deal with it, and let's just have fun.
Is there any kind of restrictions as far as fans bringing in food or water? And can they buy that? And also, do you have ample porta potties or restroom facilities?
I don't know about the porta potty thing. I'm not an expert in that area. But Fred, what I would tell people is do not bring backpacks of beer with you because they'll be taken from you. But I think water and food, I don't have an opinion.
Right now, there are 850 porta-johns that are out there, scattered throughout on both the north and south sides of the parkway, and some along Broad Street at various intersections. Food, certainly along Broad Street, everybody's going to be open. However, Philadelphia Mobile Food Truck Association, we've allowed them to place, right now, it looks like about 40 trucks, both on the north and south side of the parkway, and details will be, but basically 20th and Winter Street, and then behind Von Collin Field on Pennsylvania Avenue.
I'm not wanting to jinx things. I know you don't want to talk about these plans prior to the game itself, but is this in fact a starting from ground zero at Sunday night at 10:20? Is this really going to happen in 3 days, or was there at least some level of logistics that had to be done prior to the Super Bowl playing?
Karen and I and a few other people sort of got together the week before, maybe 2 weeks before, to look at, you know, what happens if this were to occur. You know, not any different than the visit of the Pope, because there was nothing official till the Vatican came to visit, officially. But there were 6 months of work. And if you could imagine, the managing director's office taking the lead on all of this and looking at what's going on, along with police, then streets, public property, health, L&I, you know, fire, it goes on and on. So all of the contingencies were basically ready, you know, but really nothing official. And it just was a lot of good conversation leading up to Sunday night, you know, when sort of an email went out at 10:30.
Commissioner Ross, if I may follow up. The mayor said only 3 arrests, and there's a small contingent of knuckleheads out there. But there was video taken of smashing Macy's windows in storefronts, kidnapping a mannequin, and tasty cakes and snack shots. What's the status of that, and how are you going after those people who did vandalism Super Bowl money?
So, in large part, some of these people are helping us with their own video. That shows you how idiotic it is. So, the mayor alluded to at least one gentleman supposed to turn himself in today. We are working tirelessly to try to identify some of the others, and as far as I'm concerned, they were committing criminal acts, so we will post their photos if we can't figure out their ID, just like we do in any other crime. So we will do that until we exhaust all means necessary, particularly those who have committed crimes, breaking windows and things like that. You know, this was, as you might imagine, for those of you who saw aerial views, this was a crowd like we've never seen. Not for a celebration anyway. It totally morphed the PhiLII celebration in 08 by leaps and bounds. I mean, there were crowds from Vine Street to South Street. I mean, and literally, there were times when I was out there walking, telling people to get off poles, that walking from here to that door could take me 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, so there were instances where police officers saw things but could not get to the people in time. So I just want to stress that, you know, these men and women were out there under some very difficult circumstances. Commissioner Teal's people came out to help us a couple times. Streets Department has always been there for us. So in emergency management, this city works as a team. And this is why, you know, we always have success with this. And the mayor said it. As regrettable as it is, I mean, it could have been far worse. And look, for New England, they had their own thing and they lost. So in the grand scheme of things, you know. So, I mean, I'm just being, and I'm by no means trying to justify it, but I'm just being honest, you know, all right? So.
From the information that you've seen in the video,
I don't know right now, but I would say probably no less than 10. And it may be more than that. I'm not sure. But, I mean, we've already started on the right path by, in this short order, having someone who knows they have to turn themselves into us. It's supposed to be an agreement today. And look, the looming question is that this parade is very different. Obviously, the demographics are very different. A lot of family people, a lot of different folks out there. Out there that night was a lot of folks in their 20s, you know, and many of whom were drinking. Most who still did not cause us any issues, but it's a different event. But again, all the folks who collaborated, worked together, I mean, they did a lot more to stave off things that even they're not getting credit for. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm telling you, trying to move in that crowd was virtually impossible. In fact, just to share some details, and I'm going to step away, our bread and butter at a lot of these events are our bike patrol, and they were virtually became a non-entity with regard to moving around. Once they got in a location, they were able to be successful in doing what they did. But trying to get anywhere, you just couldn't move. And so we saw crowds, like I said, I don't know what the crowd estimates are. We're saying tens of thousands. But I'll just tell you, if someone told me if it was in excess of 100,000+, I would not doubt it.
So if you guys, I'm sorry, just to follow up on that, if you guys have trouble moving around with just tens of thousands, how are you going to expect? Barricades.
There's an open street called Broad Street. It's a big, big difference. I mean, right up the middle, we can get anywhere very quickly. It's a good question, but it will make all the difference in the world. And because this is a brand new thing.
Concern over pickpockets and a massive crowd. What are you suggesting people bring or not bring on Thursday?
Well, I mean, you just got to secure your personal items. Obviously, if with any time, particularly for men or women, you know, be very guarded about your wallets. But these are some of the reasons we'll have plain clothes in the crowd. So we'll be able to look at things like that and try to discern who's doing what. Somebody else had a question? Yeah, that's not for me. That's beyond my scope. Right. Well, no, we have a means to do that, but I mean that's somebody else in the city, and they're very good at dealing with that. Because you're right, the cell phones will go down. But the city's always done a great job at that at the large-scale events. I mean, you can imagine with the papal visit and so forth, DNC, a lot of cell phones. But again, I'm not that adept at that, so I'll hold off on that. In the back.
Mr. Ross, you've been the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phillies. This could be the biggest parade of people combined. Are you looking to outside resources in other areas to help secure the area and help maintain it?
Well, we always, I mean, obviously we work very closely with SEPTA and typically with Pennsylvania State Police. The good thing about this event, again, is it's barricaded. There will be an area to traverse up Broad Street, which to the original question about how will we get around, that's how we're going to get around. And in a lot of instances, we will also be right in some of those crowds, which is a little different. And so we will have enough people out there. That's the bottom line. Anybody else?
Question for you. Phillies fans are Eagles ring, they live, they die. A lot of people have never seen a thing like this. How do you, as an Eagles fan, think about this and how this game is fighting on the team?
Well, it's nice to be a winner after not being a winner for so long. And it's nice that this particular team made us a winner because of their storied history in the city and getting there, getting there twice and coming close once. It makes people, I mean, I don't understand the sports psychology or why people feel the way they feel about their teams winning, but it does work and puts things on an upward trajectory. So I think it's terrific. And again, as far as the parade is concerned, you have to understand the crowd that was out there Sunday night had probably been partying from the afternoon through 10:30, 11 o'clock. What you're going to have is a thing that starts at 10:45. I doubt even the hardiest partiers will be drinking that much at 10:45, and it'll be over by about, 2 or 3. So I think it'll be a different tenor, a different element. It'll be more families. Again, as the police commissioner said, there are a lot of 20-somethings out there, hooping it up. But I think you're going to have a different element of crowd on that parade route.
Mr. Brent, can you tell us the decision behind going from, as opposed to ending at the Linc, ended at the Art Museum?
Yeah, I think the issue, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it had to do with the disbursement of the crowd. What happened in the Phillies was that everybody was at the sports complex. When it was over, everybody flooded the subways. They could not function. People could not get on the platforms. So what we're hoping is that this large crowd ending at this point will be able to disperse north, south, east, and west, even if they have to walk for a period of time, as opposed to flooding the subway system at Broad and Pedersen.
Last question.
They should find a way to get it on public transit. They shouldn't be driving. What's going to happen potentially is the traffic might be so bad that they'll get stuck in traffic and never see anything. So what I would do if I were living in the suburbs is I find a way to get in on mass transit and get out on mass transit. It's going to be a long day, so people need to be patient. The systems can only handle so many people. There's going to be a lot more people than it normally handles. So patience and putting some steps on your cell phone, getting healthy and walking a distance will probably be better for you than driving in.
All right, thanks everyone. We have extra copies of the press release.
Mayor Jim Kenney giving us lots of information about the Super Bowl Championship Parade coming up on Thursday, including times, including a route. In fact, we have a map we can show you right here. We know where it starts. We know just about every step of the way where it's going to go through, ending up at the Philadelphia Art Museum with a ceremony. So it's a parade and a ceremony. We've also heard that they're expecting more than the Phillies championship parade in 2008, so maybe up to 3 million people. And also, we learned that Mayor Jim Kenney was happy to not go to Minneapolis and watch the Super Bowl at home on his couch. But all this information is being posted on 6abc.com.
And they've thought it out to all the details, 850 porta potties, 40 food trucks where you'll be able to get something to eat and drink, what you can bring. Again, go to our website for that. They're going to do their best to make sure you get great vantage points, whether you're down at the sports complex or up on near the Art Museum. But don't forget, one of the best seats in the house, that would be right here with us on 6ABC. Don't miss a minute of the City Ride celebration. You'll be able to watch that championship parade and celebration right here on 6ABC. We'll be live on air and streaming on 6abc.com and the 6ABC app starting at 11 on Thursday morning. We've come to love all our people. We love you back. We will be out in full force bringing you our very best. So stay here with Action News as your MVP as we bring you the best of the best.
Now, SEPTA is going to be holding a news conference. Public transit is going to be probably the best option if you want to go out and see the parade. They're going to have a news conference at 10:30 this morning. We'll be streaming that live on 6abc.com if you'd like to watch that. And any information that is given during the news conference we'll have on 6abc.com.
There's a lot to go over, so we'll have it for you to read at your leisure and be ready to go for Thursday. So for 6ABC, I'm Tamala Edwards here with Matt O'Donnell. We send you back now to Live with Kelly and Ryan in progress.
Good morning.
I mean, we saw it happen yesterday. We saw the pictures. It's pretty awesome to be back here and to feel this from our fans. So thanks to everybody for coming out. We can't wait to get to the parade.
Congratulations. Well done. There you go. That was Kelsey right there.
That was awesome. Andrea Glenn Thomas making her way through that crowd. Look, that is no easy feat, my friend, getting through those people, but you got up in there, and we appreciate it here from Jason Kelsey as he tries to make his way through this sea of green. Oh, man.
He says he cannot wait for the parade. And if this is any indication of what Thursday is going to be like, it's just going to be massive. We've got officers trying to escort and kind of push the car through, just make sure that no one gets hurt, because everyone wants to get close and say hello, and just high fives right there to Kelsey as they scream his name. They are just so excited to welcome these players home.
I mean, this is history, folks. You are watching history right here unfold on NBC 10. These players are leaving the Novacare complex champions, Super Bowl champions, something that a lot of people have been waiting a lifetime for. 57 years is a long time.
Yeah, I mean, they left as NFC champs and bringing home the Super Bowl championship. We're going to get rings for the first time. I mean, this Lombardi trophy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the city has waited for this for such a long time. And so, hey, they're making their presence felt. in a very strong way, our passionate fans out here in South Philadelphia.
And you love to see how gracious these players have been. They're exhausted, right?
They've been up all night partying.
And they gave it all. They gave it all they had on the field with the New England Patriots. Then they stayed up all night partying, and now
they
ended
up on the Today Show, right? This morning.
Exactly, but you know, they are really giving the fans time. They came out at Philadelphia International Airport. They went over to the fans there, showed them the Lombardi Trophy up close. They didn't have to do that. They could have just gotten in the buses and gone home. And then they got into the buses, and now they're here. And even still, they are shaking hands. They are taking video. They are signing autographs. They are waving. It is awesome. It is really, really awesome to see how they are embracing all of this as well, even knowing they are dog-tired. Top dog tired.
You know, some of the talks, the speeches that were given after the Super Bowl, a lot of them mentioned the fans and how important the fans are, and doing this for the fans, and how the fans wanted this, and they're so proud to bring this back home. So there is definitely this deep connection between the city of Philadelphia, its fans, and this team that just really did what some people thought was impossible, and the improbable, and overcoming any obstacle to make this happen for the city.
And we just found out that Philadelphia public schools are going to be closed on Thursday because of the parade. We told it to you just a minute ago. The parade down Broad Street is going to be at 11 a.m. on Thursday. A hero's welcome, a hero's parade for these Philadelphia Eagles. And just into us, Philadelphia public schools will be closed in honor of this parade honoring the Philadelphia Eagles, and rightfully so.
I mean, this is a mini parade going on in
South
Philadelphia right now. I mean, we've got children out here with their parents already just enjoying this moment. I mean, many of them probably stayed up late last night. I know that some were actually on Broad Street with their families. Parents brought their kids out. So it was a late night for all, and then to be here to welcome the players back home, and then also, you know, everyone wants to, I mean, this never happened, you know, to the city. This has never happened. So, hey, you know, if it means, you know, having to close down for a day, as the Philadelphia Public Schools has decided to do, hey, you know, if at a historic moment, we got to mark it, and this is the way the city is showing its love.
And speaking of a parade, the one person that is not here right now is Nick Foles. That's because he is in Disney World, where he just participated in a parade, and we got a little bit of sound from him there. Take a listen.
And I want to ask you, what's it like to be at the place where a dream comes true today?
It's unbelievable to be out here with everyone here. I mean, we're just celebrating, having a good time. To be at Disney World, to be a part of this, it's unbelievable. Just to see everyone, to be here, unreal.
Tell me, your fans have lined the parade route from start to finish. What do you have to say to them?
I mean, Philly fans are everywhere. There we go. Hey, yeah, it's all right to yell we were world champs. It's all right to yell. We've been waiting for that for a while. World champions.
Philly fans, the chant out there loud and clear.
Philly fans are everywhere. He said it. Nick Foles there, representing the Eagles, the MVP of this team in Florida at Disney World, soaking it all in there.
Saying the experience is unreal, and so as an MVP, he's making his, you know, way to Disney World as the team is in South Philadelphia, but, you know, he's going to be front and center, I'm sure, at the parade come Thursday. But here, live looks on the ground and in the air of all the folks that have gathered outside the Novacare complex. We see a lot of the private vehicles, the players coming through, and now the chartered buses are trying to make their way through this crowd that has grown quite a bit since they came through 20 minutes or so ago. We see a lot of green and white balloons, a lot of flags blowing. It's just an incredible sight.
Let's go to Mitch Blocker in Skyforce 10, who's above it all. Mitch, you have been with us from start to finish. You watched the plane land, you've watched the caravan, and now you are here over the Novacare complex as these players try to get home.
Yeah, what a view, Aaron. And I'll tell you something, we are having a good time up here covering this and seeing all of this. The consistent theme is the passion. I mean, when we first went on the air, I told you about listening to the air traffic controller landing the plane and telling the other planes to make way for the champs. Then we watched the glistening, beautiful Lombardi trophy come off that plane in the bright sunshine here in Philadelphia. What an appropriate day in Philadelphia. It is sunny. It is bright. Everybody, look at it. Look at all those people, just ecstatic. And we've seen that everywhere. When the Eagles came off the plane, they went up to that fence line at Philadelphia International. They celebrated. They showed off the Lombardi trophy. Then they came all the way down here, closed 95. Got down here in about 10 minutes, and we watched them get off the bus. I think, you know, one of the things you guys pointed out was how cool it was to see all the mascots for all of the Philly teams celebrating this.
Hey,
and now as you watch all these players.
This city is one, right? We're all connected now. This is
absolutely.
Torrey Smith
you see that
that's
sign?
making his way in that car.
There was a sign on the ground. It said, Philly versus everybody.
Yeah.
I believe that guy's holding that sign, Philly versus everybody. There it is.
Wow. Have you seen?
How cool it!
It is very, very cool, Mitch. You know, as you take a look from the air, could you tell that the crowd of people has grown? I mean, it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger here.
You know, there's definitely yes, there's definitely some growth, but it's also they're moving around. I think they were kind of along that fence line to start with, and now they've formed this this half circle as they're all trying to get touch the Eagles, be part of the team.
Just get close to them, right? All right, Mitch Blocker reporting live for us in Skyforce 10. Thanks for that as we continue to watch these players make their way out. They're actually going a little faster than they were, believe it or not. You know, before the first couple of cars were literally surrounded and they could not move. But now they've kind of made a path so that a lot of these players can get out and get home and get some rest and get some sleep.
And NBC 10's Andrea Klein-Thomas has gotten really close to some of the players as well, making her way through that crowd, Andrea. I mean, this is a sea of people. I don't know how you're able to maneuver in there.
What is it like? Where is it like in here? What is it like? I'm trying to see if some of their windows are down. What is it like? What is it like?
It's crazy. This is an unbelievable feeling. I'm just so happy for the city of Philadelphia.
Fantastic. Thank you. It's like a sea of people. They're all coming back. We're going to try.
But you're getting in there.
More and more people.
You're getting in there, Andrea.
Yeah, I am. This window's not down. Let's see if you... He doesn't want to do an interview, but there's so many people here. It seems like the crowd keeps growing, keeps growing here. And so, but the players are just so receptive to it. Some of them have stopped, signed autographs. They have their cell phones out as well, trying to capture this moment. We heard earlier them saying, we saw the pictures on social media, but to experience it being back here at home is really something else. This is just a small fraction, if you guys can imagine what Thursday is going to be like. You can't get a glimpse of the driver just yet. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try to see if we can get these folks to talk really quickly. How are you? What is it like?
Bless.
There you go. He said it's crazy. His music was blasting too, so I don't know if you heard him, but he said it's crazy.
That was Nelson Agholor there. We saw Torrey Smith a little earlier. We saw Fletcher Cox coming out. So they are all starting to make their way out of the Novacare complex to literally a sea of people who are lining this whole way out. So they've got to pass all these people. Some of them are stopping and talking to our Andrea Klein-Thomas. Some of them are granting autographs. Some of them are taking selfies with people. They're just really soaking this all in. The players, the coaches, the staff of the Eagles. So cool to watch and to see. And Andrea, I don't know if you heard, but we mentioned a short time ago that Philadelphia public schools are closed on Thursday for the parade. So I know you were interviewing a lot of children that are out there that took the day off today. Oh, that was Mike Quick. There you go. Fist pumping there.
Yeah, that was quick. Yeah, there's so many kids here right now. I don't know if classrooms are probably half empty in the city.
Andrea, you might be the first one to break the news that they won't have school on Thursday with the Philadelphia Public Schools because they've canceled for the parade on Thursday.
Here's Carson.
Oh, Carson Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz passing by.
MVP! 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 MVP!
Oh boy, Carson Wentz, he's not going to be able to get out of there.
MVP! MVP!
You can hear the crowd so excited, screaming MVP.
MVP! MVP! MVP!
Nope, there he is.
Carson, baby! Thank you!
This must be a challenge to make sure this is safe.
The police kind of kept us back from that one, from Carson, but he was enjoying it, definitely. He was enjoying
We saw
it
he had his phone out there.
Yeah, he did have his phone out.
Andre, it's a little bit of like a controlled chaos out there in a positive, exciting way.
Yeah. This is amazing, guys. This is really amazing. Just the energy here is on 10,000, really. And just being able, this is why they came out here, you know? This is exactly why they want to see these players face to face. A lot of people are saying thank you. You know, they just want to tell them thank you. They've been behind them all season. They've done what many didn't think that they could do, and they're just out here just wanting to get a glimpse. Just to get a glimpse. And they're getting the opportunity.
Yeah, Nate! Yeah, Nate!
But the thing is, just logistically, unlike the airport, there aren't gates around here. So people are just driving in and out, kind of with police officers putting their hands, spreading out their hands wide, trying to keep people back. So that's what makes this kind of situations a little bit difficult, but it's working. It's organized chaos here and a whole lot of fun. Like, so much fun right now.
Andrea, a short time ago, you interviewed a man who got really emotional. He started crying out there. And I think that really captures what a lot of people have been feeling for so long.
What is this like?
Oh yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy.
One word, crazy, guys. I'm sorry, Aaron, I was hearing you. And that man is absolutely capturing what this was like. He was crying. He was crying and just saying, I've been waiting my entire life for this. People were rooting for the Eagles and not expecting to possibly see a Super Bowl in their lifetime. And the fact that they're getting it. And it's not just with any team, but this team that has come together, that told them from the very beginning of the season, we've got big goals, not to just do okay. We want to take it home. And they kept on and they kept pounding and kept pounding. Even when they had setbacks, they came back out as a team. There was not just one standout. They did it together. And I think that's what made this so different, is that they did it as a team. They did it together, and every time I talk to people, they just talk about the example this team has set for everybody in the city. And it's just an easy team to get behind because of what they stand for and who they are. So they have a lot to be proud of beyond what they've done on the football field.
You're looking live right now as the Eagles players and coaches and staff continue to make their way out of the Novacare complex after a historic win in Minneapolis last night. All eyes really were on that game. Such a great game against the New England Patriots. And the Eagles came out victorious, 41-33 over the Pads when everybody counted us out the entire postseason. And now you're watching. This is the welcome home as they are finally getting into their cars and making their way home after a long stretch away from Philadelphia. Bernie, that was Vinnie Curry just driving away. We're trying to look into these to see who's behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat. In many cases, we've seen a lot of the players stopping, giving autographs, taking selfies. A lot of them actually have their cell phones out too. They want to document this just as much as the fans do. You can see a lot of the signs are holding up. In Foles we trust, I think I saw. A lot of kids out there. Parents said, you know what, this is once in a lifetime. We are going to take our kids out of school so they can be a part of this, be a part of history. Seeing the Lombardi trophy make its way to Philadelphia for the very first time.
We just saw tight end Trey Burton, who threw that touchdown pass to Nick Foles. He had just passed us by. We see a lot of these players coming out of the Novacare complex, some with their windows down, giving high fives and signing autographs, others that are just kind of slowly passing by, giving a wave and shooting some of their own video of this moment. And you have to wonder how many of these players are just as overwhelmed as these fans are by seeing the players just going through what is just kind of a symbol of what is to come here. I mean, we're talking about the parade on Thursday, but we've got these fans that have just come out and swarmed the players as they're trying to make their way home, and it's just an incredible sight. You know, everyone is got their phones out and just giving high fives and saluting each other. Here we go, the window open, capturing the moment. What an historic moment. I mean, never, I think, did some people think that they may see this in their lifetime, and to actually have this happen. Oh.
That was Ertz there saying it was crazy.
That was ZachErtz, Andrea?
Yeah.
ZachErtz saying this is just crazy, probably relating to what he's seeing in the fans out here. Just the raw emotion that these fans have shown, and they're showing them today.
They've been fired up since before yesterday. I mean, Philadelphia has been lit up in green for weeks. People have been wearing their Eagles jerseys and sweatshirts and hats and dog masks for weeks now, and it really just came to a head last night. That fourth quarter was a nail-biter, but we brought it home. The Lombardi Trophy is here. The players, after a very long stretch, are now home. They're going to get some rest, and we are going to celebrate in true Philly style on Thursday with a parade down Broad Street starting at 11 a.m. Schools are closed. Philadelphia Public Schools closed on Thursday for what is going to be a historic event for the city of Philadelphia that has waited so long for this. It was a long time coming, but it's finally here. World champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, winner of Super Bowl 52, and this is just a small fraction of what you were going to see on Thursday for the parade.
At redemption for the Eagles 13 years ago, this has been done, and now we're bringing home the Lombardi Trophy. It is here in Philadelphia. Stay with us. You're watching NBC 10 News. We'll have 20 minutes of nonstop news beginning at 4. We'll see you soon. The wait is over. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Today at 4, NBC 10, the official station of the Philadelphia Eagles, has complete coverage as the team returns home. The victory parade. When is it? Where is it? We're learning all the details as the city plans a celebration decades in the making. Also, Super Bowl baby, what this local family named their son, born during the big game.
Plus, more winter weather headed our way, what to prepare for in your neighborhood, and how it will impact the parade. Count on NBC 10 News at 4.
There's a commercial break. And then there's a break from commercials. So sit back and enjoy this moment of sunshine. Love, Florida.
We can't break into any home with the Sloman Shield security system.
Why?
The Sloman Shield has perimeter security and interior motion detection. We got no shot.
Why do so many houses have the Sloman Shield?
Get a free Sloman Shield security system with video surveillance and mobile control. That's the security system, plus video surveillance and mobile control, all professionally installed, free.
Shield your home, the Sloman Shield.
From Paris to Philadelphia, a new exhibition brings together two major artists working 100 years apart. I'm NBC 10's Tracy Davidson, inviting you to Kiefer Rodin at the Barns, its only U.S. venue. Don't miss renowned contemporary artist Anselm Kiefer's experimental responses to master sculptor Auguste Rodin. See more than 100 works that explore the architecture of the human body and the drama of humanity. Kiefer Rodin on view through March 12th. Visit barnesfoundation.org today.
My schedule never slows down, so I've made a Valentine's Day gifting game plan. First, I break away from the malls and head to Hand & Stone for a gift card. Happy Valentine's Day.
I love it.
I score major points with an amazing spa experience at a really affordable price. And I never get penalized for buying him something he doesn't want.
Like that teal cardigan?
I've let him know that I love Hand & Stone too. I really am a team player.
This Valentine's Day, get ahead of the game with a gift card from Hand & Stone.
There's a commercial break. And then there's a break from commercials. So sit back and enjoy this moment of sunshine. Love, Florida.
NBC 10 News starts now.
Elation in Eagles Nation.
I've never seen this before.
A city savoring its first Super Bowl victory.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
A town preparing to toast a team that turned dreams into reality. We won it.
I still can't believe it.
The Eagles have landed, or should we say the Super Bowl champion Eagles have landed. Within the past 90 minutes, the team plane touched down in Philadelphia with some very important cargo on board. You see it right there, the Lombardi trophy. Players showed it off to fans during an impromptu celebration. The whole city will celebrate with a championship parade Thursday at 11 a.m. From the airport, the team headed to the Novacare complex in South Philadelphia, where you can see excited fans. They really packed the streets to welcome the champions home. Then they swarmed the players' cars as they left, congratulating them on bringing the Super Bowl to Philadelphia.